guys, this is Mattmann coming to you with another Ascension commentary, except this one is a lot better because this time I end up making it to round 38. Then I downed myself at the end because me and Mattmann were getting bored. And right now it's just me and Mattmann, no one else. We're doing a private match. We had a third person, but he left, so I'm not really gonna mention him. And right here we're just camping at the camping spot that I showed you guys on my last Ascension commentary. And we pretty much did this all the way until round 31, and that's when we finally brought him to a fire trap. But otherwise we just camped here and we did fine, even though there's only 2 of us. But the person in the corner, the person that's in my spot right now, he has a lot, he wastes a lot more ammo. Like, you have to shoot pretty much ray gun at everything because my ballistic knife won't do anything. And the guns you're gonna want, if you don't have the thunder gun, then you're gonna want the ballistic knife. There's pretty much nothing else that might help besides possibly the crossbow, but the ballistic knife would just be better than the crossbow. So you're gonna want a ballistic knife because none of the other guns are decent at all. And unfortunately we didn't both have black holes. So right now me and Mattmann just switched because I was running low on ammo. So then the person with more ammo usually gets the corner by PhD. And right now I'm starting to run the course that I've made it to round 37 solo with. And I'm doing it with my ballistic knife out because I'm really low on ray gun. So this is the strategy we used up until round 31, and then we used it again at round 32, 33, 34, and the start of 35. But then at 36 and up, we start doing the strategy that is why the strategy that I'm making the YouTube video for, which is a strategy that me and Mattmann made up during the game. We didn't look it up on YouTube. I've never seen it on YouTube. This is probably a new strategy and it works. It's probably the best one on Ascension. Probably on Ascension. There's no other strategy that works as well. Like, this would probably be the second best strategy what we're using. Okay, so now I'm showing you round 35. I just switch over to 35 to start showing you. Okay, so here we got an insta kill. On insta kills at this high of a round, you don't want to waste ammo. You're gonna want to chuck frag grenades because frag grenades are gonna kill the zombies really quickly, and they're very effective on insta kill. And you don't want to waste ray gun or, of course, thunder gun. You could knife them, but that's a little risky at this high of a round. And right now I'm still doing the course, but soon we're gonna leave, I think. And as you can see, our points, we're fine on points, both of us. I recommend stacking up to like 20,000 and then starting to do the strategy we use, because you need 20,000 mostly because you're gonna eventually have to trade your ray gun. And normally you don't really need a ray gun for this strategy. It's just because of monkeys, that's why you need the ray gun. So eventually me and Matthew both trade our ray gun. And that takes up a lot of points from the box. So that's why you need a lot of points for this strategy. And also, you're going to have to turn on the fire trap a lot, so you'll need points for that. Okay, so right now, we hoarded them up, so now we're going to take them to the fire trap. Which is usually when you're going to start the strategy, you go back to the PhD course and you start hoarding them up. And then one person camps in the corner. And then as soon as they all stop spawning, you do the course with 2 people about 2 more laps, and then you leave to the fire trap. And since Mattmann has more points right now, he's gonna be the one turning on the fire trap. And then the other guy has to run way ahead and call the lander. And the most important part about this is those barriers that I just looked at in that one. They have to be rebuilt, because that's going to buy you time in case the lander, well, in case the zombies are spawning and then the lander's not there yet. That'll buy you time, big time. And right now we just wait until the zombies start hitting us, and then we use the lander. So right now we're going back to the mainframe, or the spawn room, whatever you want to call it. And then as soon as you get there, you're going to head through the door by Quick Revive, and then up towards Juggernog, and then you're going to head out to the PhD cores. But then, this is where the strategy is really unique. Then you have to split up, because that's going to take the zombies, and it's going to split them right in half. If you do it correctly, it'll split them right in half. So right now, I'm going to go to the right. Coming out of the doors, I go to the right, and then Mattman goes to the left to PhD. And now the person that's going right should just wait there kind of to take some of the zombies, because, and you've seen a little bit, I do both tracks. Like, I go both ways because me and Mattman switch. So you'll see shortly that you'll see both perspectives of the strategy. And right now, you're going to want to hoard them up. You only want to do this track, this course, only once probably, because then by then you can start leading them out, because all the zombies should have reached you by then. And then you're just going to want to sprint ahead of them, and then you want to slow down, make sure they're a little bit close. And then as soon as you reach right there, you want to tell your partner to start coming down the stairs. And then the person who's doing the Pack-a-Punch course, he has to go sprint ahead and call the lander, while Mattman's gonna try to stall them and like zigzag back and forth. That's what Mattman's doing right now, and he's trying to stall them, and then he's gonna use the fire trap to take them all out. And then I call the lander, and I also rebuild the barriers, but I don't know, I didn't do it this time because right now we're still actually developing the strategy. Like, we haven't really perfected it right at this round. We do it more at round 36. That's when we have it down and we know like everything about it. So right now you always have to wait till the zombies to reach you, because that way they spawn here and not in front of you once you reach the spawn room, which is like very important, because you could get trapped on those staircases when you're running up. Once you get to the spawn room, for some reason usually one single zombie spawns in front of you and might trap you, but if you have ray gun, it's a 5-shot kill at this round, or 4 to 5 shots, I don't know. But so that should do the job. And the perks you're gonna want is exactly Juggernog and PhD for your ray guns. We got, right now, me and Matt both have Quick Revive, just because that's the perk we got from the monkey soda bottle power up. And that's why we have Quick Revive, but I obviously have a ballistic knife, so that doesn't do me any good. And I could have upgraded the crossbow, but the ballistic knife's more effective, I think. And it's a cooler weapon. So right now, you have to lead them back down all the way to the Pack-a-Punch course. Which, this course isn't that bad if you don't have zombies spawning at those windows. But once they start spawning, then there's 4 spawn points. Plus the Pack-a-Punch room. There's 2 barriers in there. And that's way too many to, like, actually get far with this course. So I hoard them about once or 2 times around that course, and then you start bringing them back to your partner. And then coming up to these 2 doors right here where the second fire trap is, right when you reach the middle of the room, I start telling Mattman to do 1 more lap, and then he's gonna come down here. And then my zombies are shortly behind me. Then I sprint ahead, call the lander, rebuild the 2 barriers in that room while Mattman stalls them, and then he'll turn on the fire trap. And then always have the person with the more points doing the PhD course and going left after you leave the main building. And this strategy works great for 2 people. For solo, it wouldn't be the same because you couldn't split up the horde, which is kind of the point of this. And you could do it with 3-player if the 3rd person goes to the PhD course when exiting the main building. but that would kind of screw up the horde still. And then the third person could go in the corner by PhD until the guy at the Pack-a-Punch room hordes them up. Or it might work better going if the third person went to the Pack-a-Punch course. It's about the same. It's kind of the team's decision. But then with 4 players, the strategy is like a really good strategy too. 2 and 4 players works the best because the zombies will be spread out evenly between the 2 separate ways that they go. And then of course, right there, for some reason, we just had a lot of zombies break in. And that's really unusual, but luckily, it's pretty easy to just run past them, even going up the staircase. And plus, Mattmann gunned some of them down with his ray gun. But I think the reason that happened was because we killed about 5 zombies when we used the lander. And since those zombies died, then they respawned ahead of us. So I'm pretty sure that's the reason why that happened. And then again, you just go around this about 1 time. And never try pack-a-punching during that time. That probably won't be very successful. Another perk that's pretty underrated is Stamina Up. That would actually work really good for this, because you do have to cover a lot of ground, and it's not like you're camping in a corner or just running a small course. Stamina Up might actually help for this strategy, but then you have one more perk to cover for monkeys. And then if you're playing 2 people on Ascension, you're pretty much never gonna get a soda bottle perk unless you both have one perk, which is how me and Matt got our last one, because we only had Juggernog, because we both got down and we somehow recovered from it, which I will show later on. And now, coming up, I'm gonna switch positions, and Mattmann's gonna do the Pack-a-Punch course and I'll do the PhD. That way you get a perspective of both courses. But we did that because I started having more points than him. Yeah, during this time it's probably the most riskiest of the entire strategy, just because they can spawn pretty quickly, and if you don't have someone running to the lander to call it, then you're pretty much gonna die. As you can see, for the most part, I'm actually running with my ballistic knife out, which I just do that because it's more lightweight and you actually do run faster, because the ray gun, it is actually heavier than the ballistic knife, because once you run, he kind of takes a step and then he'll start running. But now we're just going back to the spawn room. Yeah, this is probably the best strategy that is on Ascension, and we discovered it like during this game. And I will go back and show you how we discovered it. It was pretty much by accident, because we just got separated. Like right up here, we just accidentally got separated, and then I went to the Pack-a-Punch. He went up there, and then he told me when I'm coming, just tell him so then he can get off of there. And then we started turning on the fire trap. Because of the time limit for YouTube videos, this will be the ending of part 1. Make sure to watch part 2 to see the second part of the strategy and our death.